In June of 2025, we shipped a Rossmonster Overland Truck from Baltimore to Antwerp. From there, we set off on an 11,000 kilometer journey, visiting our roots in the Netherlands before heading north through mountains and along Norway's stunning coastal roads to Europe's northernmost drivable point. From there, we turned south through Sweden, Finland, and the Baltics, into Poland, the Czech Republic, and across Austria to Switzerland, and finally up to my sister's place near Frankfurt, Germany. That's where we'll park the truck until we return for phase 2 of our European adventure.
Good morning. Yesterday evening when we pulled into camp, I went for a little walk and I noticed that there was blueberries out here, so I thought that would be a good start to breakfast. I think this is enough for breakfast. It's so pretty, like the moss is spongy everywhere. I've been working on the antler that I found and I scraped off a lot of it, but I still need to keep cleaning. So when I get back, I'll probably soak it in the sea there and then use a brush and brush it all off and get all of this off. And then I'm thinking of putting a stain on it, like an antler stain, and then hanging it on the roof in the truck. If you guys have any tips, let me know. Alright, here we go. Got some rocks in my backpack and my binoculars. And we'll see where this trail leads us. It's just outside our truck door, which is beautiful. Never hiked in Sweden before. We stop for a day and a half to 2 days, almost every week or every 2 weeks. And then we like to find them near trails so that I can go and stretch my legs, and Pete can edit this week's video for you guys. I'm not an editor, but that gives them some peace and quiet, not me asking lots of questions all the time. I can't get over how many blueberries are all around us right now. Amazing. We did see a moose when we were driving into camp. It was on the road, or the highway. But that was pretty exciting. That was the first moose of the trip. Wow, I have the beach to myself. It's neat how they have all these fire pits, big ones, with the grill. And then, you can put your things around it, sit and have fun. Oh, we have droppings. So I believe this is the last beach of the trail. So I'm right here. I need to follow this. I wish I had the other camera. It's an Arctic fox. I spooked it and it's running across here maybe. Wind is blowing this way, so it didn't smell me. That was neat. It's just hunting away. Ooh, that was really nice to stretch my legs after the 3 days of driving. I can see the truck, and I think it's time for a swim.
morning. It's raining today, so we're packed up and heading on down the road. That was a wonderful spot we found. Just wild and quiet out there all by ourselves. So we're gonna not probably drive too far today, but we're working our way south about halfway down Sweden, and then we're gonna take a ferry back to Finland and carry on. So let's see where we end up today. As we leave the tiny island of Seskarö behind, our journey carries us south along Sweden's rugged northern coast. Forests press against the sea, and quiet fishing villages rest along the shoreline. The roads wind through remote countryside, where time seems to slow and nature takes center stage. Our destination today is a seaside natural area called Club, where the shoreline seems endless, waves lap against the rocks, and the crisp northern air refreshes the soul. Out here, far from the crowds, the beauty of Sweden feels entirely our own. We plan to set up camp and spend the rest of the day simply relaxing, listening to the rhythm of the sea and breathing in the fresh northern air. Good morning, guys. We found another beautiful spot right on the Gulf of Bothnia, which is a part of the Baltics Sea, and it's a little bit of a drive through the woods to get out here, but it's just amazing when you get here. Right on we're literally steps from the sea. So we're just having coffee this morning out here, enjoying the sound of the waves, and so far Sweden, we've been enjoying your coastline. It's amazing. Just a beautiful spot if you ever get out here. So we're getting a lot of rain today, which makes for a good drive day. You can cover some ground. No matter what country we're in, you know, if you're on a road trip and we're trying to see all of Europe and Eastern Europe and everything, you're never gonna see everything. So you have to make decisions. You're gonna have to bypass some pretty cool stuff. Here in Sweden, we're catching the coast of the Baltic Sea area. And we saw the bottom part and a little bit of the north, but there's so much more, but that'll have to be for another trip. You just can't see it all in one trip. Even Norway, we spend a lot of time on the coast, and when you're in a coastal area like that, it's just back-to-back amazingness, but there's more to see in Norway too, and Finland, so that's just the theme. Even when we were crossing Canada, you just couldn't spend as much time as you'd want to cover the whole province or the whole country. So anyway, this part of Sweden is really neat, and you can tell the softwood lumber is a big industry here. The pine and spruce, mostly pine, grow really well along the coastline here, and so they do a lot of selective cutting, some clear cutting, and so it seems to be quite a renewable resource, and that makes for a lot of really neat hiking trails through the forest, and also some driving trails like we've been on the last couple of days. So it's a beautiful area, and when it's not forested, it's seems to be a lot of quite arable farmland, so you see a lot of farm operations. They're pulling hay off right now, and they've got wheat fields, and so that's kind of the area we're going through right now. After winding our way through the beautiful Swedish countryside, we've arrived in the town of Umeå. From here, we'll board the ferry across the Gulf of Bothnia, bound for Vaasa, Finland. The crossing takes just a few hours. Time to relax, grab a meal, and watch the open sea roll by. This historic route has long linked Sweden and Finland, and soon we'll be driving off the ship and back onto Finnish soil, continuing our journey south towards Helsinki. As we leave the Swedish coastline behind, our journey carries us east across the Gulf of Bothnia. This northern stretch of the Baltic Sea lies between Sweden to the west and Finland to the east, a region of long summer days, brisk winds, and serene, icy winters. The Gulf of Bothnia is about 725 kilometers long and 80 to 240 kilometers wide. Parts of it freeze over in winter, forming a natural bridge between the two countries. For centuries, it has been a vital route for trade and travel, connecting Sweden and Finland and supporting industries from fishing to timber shipping. Crossing it today, we're reminded of the vastness of Scandinavia and the quiet, rugged beauty that thrives in its remote corners.
Dear cabin passengers, we will arrive in Vaasa in about half an hour. We would like to remind everyone to leave the door open when leaving the cabin. Thank you.
Nästa passagerare, vår parti, vår däck nummer 7 är nu öppen i ungefär 10 minuter, så man hinner ändå komma göra sina sista inköp.
Pyydämme hyttimatkustajia noutamaan tavarat hytistä sekä kaikkia auton kuljettajia siirtymään autokannelle. Käynnistäkää ajoneuvonne vasta, kun miehistö on antanut siihen luvan. Kiitämme teitä tästä matkasta ja toivotamme teidät tervetulleeksi uudelleen.
That was a good trip across the sea, and now we're back in Finland. That was a really nice cruise.
Yeah.
And the food was like spot on. I was like shocked about the food. I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm. Super nice boat. Nice trip if you ever get a chance to do it. 3.5, 4 hours. We go back or ahead an hour when you cross from Sweden into Finland. So it's now 9 o'clock. So we're gonna go find a camp spot.
Not too far away.
Not too far away. Closer the better, because I'm tired. I don't know about you. But
I'm like so tired. I don't know what it is.
we've been pushing pretty hard. So anyway, we're gonna find a camp spot and get a good night's sleep, and then we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Just don't step out.
Don't what?
Step out.
We'll try parking here for a bit. It's a neat spot. If we're not supposed to be on the pier, then we'll just back up a bit and park in the parking lot, but there's some folks fishing and whatnot right now. They'll probably pack up and leave soon, and we can have our choice of places to park, but this will do. So we didn't film them, but a wonderful couple from here, from this neighborhood, were just picking up their daughter's car, and they saw the truck. They came and said hi, and they're campers as well. They love camping and they know the area, so they gave us a whole bunch of great tips. There's one kind of the direct route straight down to Helsinki, but we, on the boat, we were doing some research and we thought it takes a bit longer, but we wanted to kind of go down the coast, and they suggested we do that, and then gave one of their favorite restaurants way down south, and they told us about the archipelago of islands that we should make sure to stop by and see. So Terry and Guy, if you're watching, thanks for all the tips, and tomorrow we're going to head down that way. So those folks we met last night told us about a little place on the lake, on the water, but the place doesn't open until 11:30. That's in about a half an hour. So we're gonna try to see if there's a little market in town, get stocked up on some groceries, and then we'll go back. So we got the groceries we needed, and now the little restaurant is open. But you can see it's gonna start raining any second. So they didn't have fish soup on the menu today, but they do have locally caught fish, so that's enough for me. So it was a fun place to eat. Thanks for the suggestion, Terry and Guy. We appreciate that. And now we're working our way down to Helsinki to take the ferry across to Estonia. But today we'll get as far as the archipelago down at the bottom, kind of west side of Finland. And we'll try to find a place to camp there. And then we'll tomorrow head into Helsinki. So yeah, we've got a 3.5 hour drive south ahead of us. We're doing the coastal route rather than going through. There is one slightly faster that takes a bigger kind of highway south, but we want to see as much of the countryside as we can. So far here in Finland, every time a motorhome or a camper of some sort goes by, they wave, just like the Jeep wave. And it took me a while. At first, they must have thought I was rude. I wouldn't catch them waving until they were right there, and then they went by. But now I know. Throw up a couple of fingers and say hi. I don't know. It's just it seems to be part of the camping culture here. All motorhomes, all vans say hi to each other. I guess if you choose the coastal route, you got to be ready for coastal weather to happen anytime. Right now, the rain is just coming down like crazy, and the road is flooding in spots, so we're just taking it easy. I can't believe the good fortune and the We were really blessed to have pretty much perfect weather all the way up the coast of Norway. So filling up with diesel here, and we've got to make a decision to go all the way to the west coast. With all this rain we're having, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better, you know, we might just be driving an extra 3 hours to see nothing but rain and just sit inside the truck. So the other option is we just move 2.5 hours south to Helsinki, where we're going to catch that ferry probably tomorrow. So we haven't made our mind up yet. I hate to miss anything, but you know what it's like. The weather will dictate. So we might just grab a coffee and think about it, and we'll let you know what we decide.
I think we should grab a coffee.
Here?
Not gas station coffee. Let's try and find like a cozy cafe. Don't you think? I think we should grab one.
Well, we never did find a coffee shop along this route, but just north of Helsinki, we discovered the perfect little trailhead to spend our last night in Finland. After settling in and brewing a warm cup of coffee, we wandered along the quiet paths, soaking in the peaceful beauty of the evening and savoring our final moments in this beautiful country. OnX Off-Road is a friend of our channel and helps us bring videos to you every week. Here are some of the features we love. You can see public and private land boundaries, so you always know where you stand. You can add custom markups for routes, campsites, and waypoints. Sync maps to your dash with CarPlay or Android Auto. Track, share, and plan trips with friends. You can save maps for offline use and discover thousands of off-road trails with ratings and photos. For more information, click the link in the description or scan the QR code with your phone. Good morning. So we camped at a trailhead about 30 minutes outside of Helsinki here. We're now driving into the city, heading to the ferry terminal to see if we can find parking for the truck for a couple hours. And because our sailing is around 3, we have to be there an hour and a half or 2 hours ahead of time. That gives us a couple hours to hopefully explore Helsinki a little bit. One little point about all around the city here, if you're looking for camp spots, there seems to be quite a few available. Just pre-camping in the parking lots at various trailheads, and then you get a nice little hike in right outside your back door. So last night's hike was along some lakes. It really reminded me of being up at our lake, so I was a little bit homesick there for walking through the forest. But yeah, we're gonna explore Helsinki this morning and take you with us. Helsinki, founded in 1550, is Finland's vibrant capital, with over 650,000 residents. Its harbor has long been a hub of trade, and today the city thrives on technology, shipping, and tourism. We wandered along the waterfront and explored the lively downtown streets, admiring the mix of historic buildings and modern architecture. Along the way, we stumbled upon a cozy cafe, grabbed a warm cup of coffee, and watched the city come alive around us as locals and visitors filled the streets, soaking in Helsinki's unique energy. So we just took a stroll around parts of Helsinki, downtown here. It's been beautiful. Super windy day, so it's going to be a bit rocky on the boat, I bet you, but we have enough time to have a coffee and maybe their Finnish pastry here. It's this type of cinnamon bun. I just asked for something Finnish that we could try, and they said that's the most Finnish thing we got. So normally we're having a coffee beside a lake or a river, so Every once in a while, it's nice to change it up. And this is one of the oldest cafes in Finland. So we're checked in and we're just making our way towards the boat. I don't think it's here yet, but we'll get in the right lane and we'll be boarding as soon as it arrives. It's windy out there. It's gonna be a rough ride, but yeah, we're just told to turn around and back in front of that motorhome there. So it's what, 3 o'clock and we're still sitting here in the, we're the first ones here and I guess we'll be the last to board. But I've never seen so many trucks get onto a boat in my life. It's endless, really. I think we're finally going to be going on soon, but yeah, it's just truck after truck, and Carol and I are sitting here going like, are they just driving off the other end into the water? Where are they putting all these things? But I guess we'll see when we go inside. But it is a big ship. It looks almost like a cruise liner. Probably the biggest ferry we've been on.
Yeah. We finally made it on. And the wind isn't supposed to die down at all until we land on the other side, which will be okay.
As we leave Helsinki behind, we're saying goodbye to Scandinavia, for now. The ferry cuts through the wind and waves as we lean into the gusts on the upper deck.
That's insane!
We are crossing the Gulf of Finland, about 400 kilometers long and up to 80 wide. This northern sea separates Finland from Estonia. For centuries, it has connected these lands through trade and travel. Now, in just a few hours, the Tallinn skyline appears and excitement builds. We've officially entered Estonia and the Baltic states.
So we're just coming into port. Wow, what a beautiful city. We've been doing a little bit of research the last 2 days, and we're really excited, and we have a few really neat things planned for you guys, so let's go and explore.
We can't wait to explore the old city of Tallinn, but that will have to wait until tomorrow. For now, we're focused on finding a peaceful spot to camp for the night, right beside the sea at the northernmost point of Estonia and the Baltic states. It's funny, coming into town, I said, it looks like a statue of a bird on a nest, because it was so big we thought it was fake. And then we get here and they're actually real.
I don't know what type of birds. We'll have to look that up.
Some kind of pelican or something, I don't know, they're huge. So we've been in Estonia for an hour now. We just went shopping. So far, it's been great. We've got 3 thumbs up on the highway. Obviously the truck attracts a lot of attention, and seeing the plates from America. And then just at the store, a couple was walking by. They were from California, so a young couple who was just traveling here. So they were really curious as how we got a truck with Montana plates in Estonia. But they were just visiting as well, and they gave us some awesome tips. And that's been the story all throughout Europe so far, is talk to as many people as will talk to you, and it seems like everyone will. And that's where you get all the good places to go. So we found a place on when we were on the boat. We were looking on the app, camp for night, and it obviously works here as well. And there's a place down by the beach. I don't think it's gonna be super private, but it's a place you can park campers for free overnight. And then there's a walk on a bit of a peninsula that goes out. When you get to the end of that, it's the northernmost part of the Baltics. So let's do it.
I like this spot.
Very nice. Yeah, we've arrived and there's a beautiful spot here for us, so we're happy.
The smell of campfires too. Oh.
Yeah, in the Baltic Sea behind us, which is called the Gulf of Finland. It comes off of the Baltic Sea. So that's the body of water we just crossed. And it looks like the wind has died down a little bit, but still a nice fresh breeze.
Want to get chairs out, but first take a walk on the water and then just sit and watch the sunset. What a beautiful spot. I love the drive coming in. The homes were just so cute. And they had little rocks, gardens, and I don't know, flowers.
Not bad for first night in Estonia. We've been welcomed with an amazing sunset behind us. And this is the path we're going to walk tomorrow, right to the very end tomorrow morning. And that'll be the northernmost point of the Baltics. Excited. Yeah. Lots of amazing bird life, like seabirds, and yeah, it's just a beautiful place.
And it smells good. Really, really nice.
Diving bird. Just keeps getting better, huh?
It looks like a lighthouse and the beam is shooting off that way. Great.
As we settle in for our first night in Estonia, we reflect on our time in Norway, Sweden, and Finland. We want to thank everyone for their hospitality and for sharing the beauty of your culture, your people, and your countries. We hope this isn't our last visit to Scandinavia, because there's still so much more to explore. Ahead of us lie the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, followed by Poland, the Czech Republic, and across to Switzerland. From there, we'll visit my sister and her family just outside of Frankfurt, Germany, where we'll park the truck and head back to the lake to spend some time with the kids before Pete sets off on his next expedition with X Overland, and as we prepare for our second half of our European adventure. Make sure to stay tuned, there's so much more ahead. And in the meantime, we'll see you down the road.
This is the perfect soup size for Matt and the boys.